Okay. Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you guys are all doing well today. I really do hope that Chelsea are playing Brexit FC Burnley on the weekend, huh? Oh, hold on. Yeah, man, Chelsea versus Burnley. Thomas Tuchel's second game coaching Chelsea. He's actually had some days with the team now. A little bit about his training shortly. He's playing against some low blocks. His first 4 games are Wolves, Burnley, Sheffield, Tottenham, in potentially that order. Low block FC, man. He's going to have to learn how to break this down with different styles and different players. And there's a lot to talk about today who I think he could line up with and what formation he might use. Settle in, get comfortable, consider subscribing if you haven't subbed already. And if you haven't and you're choosing to, please hit the bell notifications icon, as it really helps me. And you know what else helps me? You dropping a like on the video. So thank you very much if you've done that, friends. Okay, alright then, let's get into today's match preview. Right, do you want to know what's funny? Small, tiny balls. No, I'm not talking about you watching this, I'm talking about Thomas Tuchel's training methods. It's not a new one, but today the boys trained with tiny little footballs, maybe to increase dexterity with the feet. Is that even an appropriate word with that? Obviously, you got to be more accurate, delicate, and show your silky touch when you're playing with such a tiny football. So it's interesting to see him implementing these kind of methods already. Look, Thomas Tuchel is a crazy football professor, maniac kind of guy. He'll implement this stuff on the training pitch, and when it comes to the in-game management, he'll change shape and formation and personnel quite a lot. He likes to tinker, I suppose. A Germanic tinker man. So that's positive. Another thing we know, he's going to have a lot of rotation. If you look at his comments early doors in his press conference, the way he spoke about the squad, he is not interested in trimming it down at all. He likes having all these players, and he knows if they're Chelsea players, odds are they're good. You know, even your Marcus Alonso's he'll find value for. Will he? I'm not sure he will. Anyway, what I'm saying is he really digs having a big squad, so that's good. I think we'll see a lot of rotation, a lot of players constantly getting a chance until they perform so badly, that's it. But they know everyone's got a fresh slate, and this is good, especially if you're doing different tactical instructions. But then again, if Callum Hudson-Odoi can play right wing back, then, you know, all bets are off. Then maybe anyone can play anywhere. Certainly Marcus Alonso could come back in as a striker. I'd have time for that, I think. So Burnley, let's talk about Burnley before I give you my predicted lineup and talk about the match a little bit. They are in a good vein of form. They're like coming back to life, man. They started the season so poor, but suddenly, you know, both Barnes and Wood have scored recently, and they look far more functional than they had been, defending resolutely. Is it Westwood that came back in the midfield that made him a lot better? I don't know the 11 inside out, but they look a lot better. Tarkowski as well coming back, playing really, really well defensively. Nick Pope in goal, man. The best goalkeeper this season for saving shots, I think. An absolute weapon. Not so great with his feet, but in terms of how Burnley play, he's just perfect, man. The way he sort of just is perfect at these kind of shots that they allow the opposition to take. He's really good at saving. An amazing shot stopper. And of course, Dwight McNeil, who's returned to form in the side lately. I think he's did goals and assists recently. A superb player that sort of hangs out on the left flank. He's really actually given them the onus to go and score again, and with that they've also got new defensive confidence. You know, the results speak for themselves. They were getting draws, they've beaten Liverpool. Burnley are ready to do battle with the Premier League again. Against the biggest teams, they'll back themselves against anyone at the moment. Chelsea have just failed to break down a low block in the form of Wolves. Granted, they were desperate for a clean sheet, and that's all they came to Stamford Bridge to achieve, to not concede, and they did that to their credit. Burnley will be similar. Even if they leave 1 or 2 strikers up, it will be 2 banks of 4, a block to get past, and it will be up to Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea to break that down with a little bit more innovation than what we saw against Wolverhampton Wanderers. So let's switch screens and I'll show you a formation and lineup that I've made for this game. So I've gone for a 4-2-3-1. I was going to go for a 4-3-3 and have like more people that can attack on the pitch, but Tuchel kept talking about these 2 6s. You know, if Kante comes in, he wants him to roam a little bit more, so he wants him next to another player who's going to sit a bit more. Interesting stuff like that. Mendy will keep his place in goal. I don't think he'll be interested in rotating centre halves just yet. I think the Barnsley game will offer him an opportunity to do that. I think he will keep his best mate Tony Rudiger in the centre-back position, as well as next to Thiago Silva, a player who he really trusted and didn't want to let go at PSG. It was the sporting director Leonardo, you know, one of the reasons why they fell out. He really likes Thiago Silva. It's his boy. So that would complete the centre-back partnership. I think Reece James comes into this game, provided he's not injured. I think we're going to need a dynamic fullback that can get up and down the pitch quickly, as Azpilicueta cannot get up and down the pitch quickly. Surely he has to give one of Chelsea's players of the season, Reece James, a go here. I think he will. I'm still going to go with Chilwell at left back. A lot of people are saying Emerson because everyone gets a chance, clean slate, and Chilwell hasn't been amazing lately, but I still have an inkling he will start in this game. Now Kante has returned to training and is reportedly available, and Tuchel has been waxing lyrical about the French World Cup winner, so I think he'll be dropped into this game to defend on dangerous transitions from Burnley, who will try and hit Chelsea on the break. Now interestingly, he talked about 2 6s, but I'm going to go with Mason Mount, who is conventionally not a 6, but we've seen him play at that role in the 4-2-3-1. And if we're going to play a lot in the opposition's half, I think Mason Mount could, you know, occupy that space well. Like I say, he's done it once or twice already for Chelsea. And Mason Mount can actually tackle, track back and press. Stuff that's important for a 6 and, you know, a more defensively minded midfielder. Granted, it's not as, you know, good as that number 8 position where he thrives. A little bit deeper, slight different responsibilities, but Tuchel will learn that he can trust Mason Mount to do pretty much anything. So I'm actually going to have him at the base of midfield next to N'Golo Kante. Not really a player that sits, but, you know, I don't think we'll necessarily need to against Burnley. Just be careful in transition and track back. And, like, you know, Kante and Mount can do that. So, 4 attackers in the 3-1 part of the formation. I'm going to go on the wings for Christian Pulisic to start. And interestingly, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Callum Hudson-Odoi has been in form. I think Tuchel has already seen him as a player he can trust in terms of versatility. Right, left, right wing back apparently. I think that's really, really interesting, that much trust in a youngster. I think he will start Pulisic this time because he's got a good relationship with him and he knows how good he is. And he said he only brought him off the bench because he knows what he can bring. But he also will probably want to see him starting in this team as a really important player for him. So I've got him starting on the left. And in the number 10, I've written Havertz or Ziyech. I think Ziyech obviously has played as a number 10 loads for Ajax, not really for Chelsea yet. Or he's played as a sort of inside 10, but not as just a number 10 in a 4-2-3-1. So I think Havertz, you know, he's looked pretty good. He does look creative. I think he's likely to start on a number 10. But Ziyech could do that also. And for a striker, I've gone for Tammy Abraham. Yes, we're, you know, yet to see Timo Werner properly under Tuchel, and, you know, it will be one of his mandates to get the best out of Timo Werner. But I think for this game, we're not going to be running in behind. We're going to have all the ball. Even though Giroud didn't look great last time out, Tammy can play in the spaces a little bit more like Giroud than Werner can. Werner will want to run the space. Tammy can occupy the space. So personally, it makes more sense for me to have Tammy Abraham. Who knows? Maybe this double 6 formation will see either Jorginho and Kovacic start. You know, is likely. Maybe Tuchel likes them. I'm kind of think maybe he does like them. And then in the number 10, Mount starts and Havertz comes off the bench. Alterations, but I kind of imagine seeing a 4-2-3-1/4-3-3 hybrid in this game. So that's my speculated lineup. Let's move on and talk about this game a little bit more. Now, I feel like this is a pull string comment that, you know, I've said, you can't see my back, all season. This is a must-win game. It's Burnley. Of course, it's a must-win game, especially if we have ambitions to get the top 4. If the players are really trying to impress the coach, they are really quality players, and we are a lot better than Burnley. If we set up to be defensively smart and not concede silly goals, like we did at Wolves, maybe not back 3 formation, but in terms of just how you play, don't concede, beat Burnley. It's just, I don't care how you do it. It could be a 1-0, it could be a 2-1, it would be nice to be a battering. We have got a history of battering Burnley at times. I would just get the first win on the board. First 2 games, 4 points, fair enough. Don't think of the opposition. I think actually this Chelsea will play quite good against high-level opposition, hopefully under Tuchel moving forwards. I'm actually going to predict a 2-1 win to Chelsea. I think maybe we'll concede a goal. Burnley are in massively high confidence, but if they go and win at Anfield and then we beat them, I will just be very pleased with that, and I'll take the 3 points. And it's a very good weekend to start clawing back some points. On the Premier League, a lot of the top sort of third are all playing each other, or top half are all playing each other. So it's a good opportunity to have some draws, losses, get the odd 2-point, 3-point climb here and there. And yeah, I hope we do it, man. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions, so get down in the comment section below. Give me your score predictions, lineup. I'll be really interested in reading that. Other than that, I think I'm done, guys. So enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I love me, baby.